So before I get into this keep, sell, loan Liverpool video, I'd like to share this lovely product with you guys. It's from cardsplug.com. It's a life-size football card where you could personalize your own stats. You could put the country where you're from, the club you support, and you could put a lovely picture of yourself right there. It makes for a nice gift to yourself, a loved one, or even a friend. Well, a friend can be a loved one, if you get what I'm saying. But guys, head on over to cardsplug.com/dominicrichfc. Use the coupon code dominicrichfc to get you 20% off one of these bad boys here. You won't regret it. So guys, all the links would be in the description box down below. And just like my last Liverpool video, if you get this one to 500 likes, I'll get me a Liverpool version of this card. Maybe I'll get a small. This is a medium. I'll get a small. Just get it to 500 likes and it's gonna be up on the wall next to this one. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich and I'm back with another banger. And this time it's Liverpool keep, sell, or loan. I already did Manchester City and the video got good, good response. Let's just say that. Because usually when I make videos on City, most people don't really care. But this one did alright. And I did put up a poll asking you guys whether I should do Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, or even, what's the other club? Chelsea. And you guys voted for Liverpool. So I did all the research, I got all the players, and I'm back to let you know which players I think Liverpool should keep, sell, or loan. And if you're wondering, what does this guy know about Liverpool? I watch every single Liverpool game. Check the channel. There's proof. And if you're saying, oh my God, you're not a Liverpool fan, why you keep making Liverpool videos? Liverpool is the hottest thing out there right now. If it's a football channel and I'm not talking about Liverpool, I'll be dumb, right? So guys, let's get into this video and let's start with the players with contracts expiring at the end of this season. So let's start with Adam Lallana, whose contract expires at the end of this season. Well, the fact that the season is currently suspended, a lot of these contracts are gonna get modified to go until the end of this current season so that every player could be within contract. So all the players that I'm mentioning right now could leave on a free at the end of the season, and that includes Adam Lallana. So Lallana came over from Southampton and has been a good servant for Liverpool over the years. Never really blossomed to be that player that a lot of people thought he would have been, and his career has been plagued by serious injuries. But this season, Adam Lallana has looked really, really good. And the fact that he's been so good, but he's on the bench for Liverpool, I think he's going to look for a move outside of the club. Even though Liverpool are playing really, really well right now, Lallana has to look towards finishing his career on a high. And you're not going to basically do that sitting on the bench. You're not going to be warming the bench when you have enough potential to play for a mid-table or a lower table team and start every single game. You know what I mean? He's about 32 years old right now. So for Adam Lallana, contract expiring, I think he would leave on a free, and I think Liverpool should let him go. So he is definitely a sell. He would be a good player to keep, but for the best interest of the player, selling. Next up is the right back, Nathaniel Clyne. Also came over from Southampton. He has been heavily plagued by injury. I'm talking about serious injuries for years now. He did go out on loan to Bournemouth, but picked up an injury again. And this chronic injury problem that Clyne has been dealing with did make way for Trent Alexander-Arnold to just step in at the right back position and blossom to be one of the best right backs in the world. So I guess it was a blessing in disguise for Trent. But for Nathaniel Clyne, he just have to work his way back to full fitness and play for another club. He was at Bournemouth, and I think he'll suit a club like Bournemouth. So Clyne, contract expiring, will leave on a free. Liverpool won't keep him, so he is also a sell. But when I say sell, they're not going to make any money from him. He's going to leave for free. Liverpool youngster Herbie Kane, currently on loan at Hull City. He's a central midfielder, but What I've seen from him has not really impressed me to the point where I'm saying like Harry Kane is the answer to Liverpool's midfield problem. For the creative problem in the middle of the field, the man for the job is Harry Kane. No, definitely not Harry Kane. When on loan at Hull, if he somehow, you know, manages to just set the championship on fire, then maybe you can talk. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So for me, I think Harry Kane, with his contract expiring, is also a sell. He will leave on a free. Next up, centre back Nathaniel Phillips, currently unknown at Stuttgart in the Bundesliga 2. He did come back temporarily around January-ish time, or December, January, and they sent him back. So I thought Liverpool were actually gonna keep Phillips, but he was sent back out on loan. And from what I've seen from Phillips, I don't know if he is Liverpool grade. The kind of football Liverpool are playing right now, I don't think Nat Phillips is the man for the job. Maybe as a backup role, but to be honest, I don't see it happening. I think Liverpool could do a lot better than Nat Phillips, and I think for me, he is a sell. Let him go on a free. Don't stifle the man's career by letting him sit on the bench. Next up is Andy Lonergan, their third choice or fourth choice goalkeeper, who was brought in to deal with their injury problem. I don't think they're gonna extend his contract after the season finishes. So I think he's gonna leave for free. He is also a sell. Next up is another young promising player, the striker Ryan Brewster. His contract expires at the end of the season as well, and he is currently out on loan at Swansea City. Klopp had him in his plans for the 2019-20 season, but he picked up an injury and then was sent out on loan in January to help him get back to full fitness and help him develop some more by getting more game time at a championship club in Swansea. He did hit the ground running at Swansea City, but then the season got suspended. But I think Ryan Brewster is talented enough to maybe go back out on loan at another club and work his way towards Liverpool first team in the future. So I think they should renew his contract and they should keep him. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Because what I've seen from Ryan Brewster in the past, he does have talent. He does have talent, but I think he has been quite unfortunate. The matches he has featured in, he never really had a lot of opportunities, and then he got injured. So I do think Ryan Brewster is a keep. Next up is 22-year-old Spanish midfielder Pablo Chirivella, who is still with the under-23 team. The little I've seen from Pablo Chirivella in the cup matches, I'm quite impressed. But is he the answer for Liverpool's midfield? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So I think they're going to let his contract expire and then they're going to let him go on a free. Or maybe what Liverpool could do, they could give him a new contract and sell him so that they could actually get some money from the player. That's not a bad option either, instead of letting the players go out on a free. But I do think he is a sell. I don't think he is good enough to play in this Klopp system at all. Maybe in the cups, but not on a regular basis. Next up is right winger Shea Ojo, currently on loan at Rangers, Steven Gerrard's club. For him, I think he is a sell. I don't think Liverpool are going to renew his contract and keep him at the club. He's had his chances. He's really had his chances. He's been around for quite some time. I've known this player for quite some time. So you're telling me you haven't really kicked on as yet? Like, come on. They have to let him go. So for me, he is a sell. Next up is another young midfielder out on loan, and that's Ovie Ejaria. He's currently on loan at Reading in the Championship, and he's not doing such a bad job there at all. Reading does have an option to buy, so I think Liverpool will try to get that worked out and try to sell him on for a small fee. Nothing too major, because not like he's setting the world afire or anything, but they will want to get something back for their investment. I don't think they're going to renew his contract. So for me, Ovie Ejaria is a sell. Next up in this category, I'm going to talk about the players currently out on loan, but still currently within contract. out. Let's first start with the striker Taiwo Awoniyi, currently out on loan at Mainz, which is Jurgen Klopp's former club. He has been out on quite a few loan stints, with his most successful being a loan stint in Belgium, and I think that was a time Liverpool had to pounce and say maybe we should give him an opportunity in the first team, but they didn't. They kept sending him out on loan, and I think his time has passed. So for me, Awoniyi is a sure sell. I don't know if Mainz are gonna want to buy him, because not like he's been scoring a whole lot of goals over there, but let's see what happens. He is a sell. Next up, we have a very fun and interesting one, and that's Loris Karius, currently out on loan at Besiktas. They did put in an option to buy, but I don't think Besiktas are going to activate that option at all, because Karius has also been a disaster at Besiktas. He had a few more of those Champions League final moments, and Besiktas, they just want to wash their hands of Loris Karius, and I do think Liverpool want to wash their hands of Karius as well. When Karius took over from Mignolet, I was thinking maybe this is the next Bernd Leno, or maybe the next Marc-Andre ter Stegen. This guy could be as good as Manuel Neuer. He's German after all, but it hasn't really worked out, right? Because it's a situation where one single match destroyed a player's career, and that's a Champions League final where Liverpool lost to Real Madrid. Karius, he was simply atrocious in that game, and he was never really forgiven. He was never forgiven, not by the fans and not by the club, because they sent him out on loan immediately, and he hasn't been back since. His loan deal is gonna be up, and he's gonna be on his way back to Liverpool. What should they do with Karius? Guys, what are you gonna do with Karius? Do you want to keep him back up maybe to Alisson, or as a third choice keeper, playing the cups and stuff? Are you gonna sell him? Who's gonna buy him? That's the thing. Or are you gonna send him back out on loan? For me, Liverpool should do everything in their power to sell Karius. You don't want to be lenient, and you don't want to sorry for players and be like, you know what, man, let's just be sorry for him and give him another chance. No, it's gonna cost you again. Get rid of Karius. He is a sure sell. Next up is the young promising midfielder Ben Woodburn, currently out on loan at the League One club Oxford United. The U's. What should Liverpool do with Ben Woodburn? Still currently within contract. I think his contract expires 2023, but he is currently injured, and that's a very tricky situation, because when a player is injured, the club should take care of that player until he gets fit again, and maybe you think about selling him on or whatever. So Ben Woodburn is, for me, a keep, because you don't really know what's gonna happen with him. He may develop into a really good midfielder, or maybe he won't. The fact that he's played in League One right now just shows that maybe he is not up to Liverpool quality, but he is injured. Liverpool has to keep him, and maybe in the future they could think about selling him. So for me, he is a keep. Like, come on, you gotta take care of your players. So he's a keep. Next up, this one is a very good one, and it's right winger Harry Wilson, currently out on loan at Bournemouth. He had a really good loan stint in the Championship last season with Derby County under Frank Lampard, and he has shown his quality once again at Bournemouth, being one of their best players, popping up with the goals, popping up with the assists. He is their dead ball specialist as well. So this one is tricky. What are Liverpool gonna do with Harry Wilson? Are they gonna send him out back on loan, or are they gonna sell him? Or they're gonna say, listen man, this guy is very talented. He is English. We wanna have a few good English players within our team. Let's keep him. What are Liverpool gonna do? What do I think? What do I think they should do? Because that's what the video is all about. I honestly think Liverpool should give Harry Wilson a chance and keep him. I think he was good enough to be in Liverpool's squad this season as well, but I don't think they wanted to take the risk, so they sent him at Bournemouth. But now they see what he can do in the Premier League. He could do marvelous things at the highest level. That, you know, that left foot is very deadly, and I think he could be an asset coming off the bench or in cup matches. So I think Harry Wilson should be given an opportunity to stake his claim in this Liverpool team. For me, he is a keep. What do you guys think? Do you guys like Harry Wilson or not? Because I do like him as a player. He even wore a Liverpool sweatshirt while Liverpool was playing against Bournemouth. One of the last few Premier League matches before the season was suspended. That's how dedicated Harry Wilson is to Liverpool. So you got to give the man his shot, man. Give him a shot. Next up is the Serbian midfielder Marko Grujic, currently out on loan at Hertha Berlin. He is one of the players who also had his opportunities to impress while he was at Liverpool. Never really took his chances, and then they sent him out on loan to see how he's going to develop. I think he has developed quite nicely, to be honest. But is Grujic the answer to Liverpool's midfield? That didn't really come out too well, but let me say that over. Is Grujic the answer to Liverpool's midfield woes? Because Liverpool does lack creativity in the midfield. They have very, very hustling and bustling, hard-working midfielders, but they lack that creative spark. Is Grujic the man for the job? In my opinion, I'm going to say he is not. Liverpool should sell him. If Hertha Berlin, if they are interested in buying, selling, cash in. That's my opinion. Marko Grujic, a sell. The next section would be about 7 youth players worth mentioning. First up, Dutch centre-back Sepp van den Berg. The few times I've seen Sepp van den Berg, I think he is a very talented player. What should Liverpool do with him? Should they keep him around the first team? Should they keep him in the under-23 team? Or should they send him out on loan? Or should they sell him? What should they do? In my opinion, I think Sepp van den Berg should be sent out on loan. Maybe send him back to one of those Eredivisie clubs to see how well he will develop. Maybe this is the next Virgil van Dijk. You don't know. You never know. So I think he is a loan. Next up is the young left back Yasser Larouci. The first time I saw Larouci in a cup match, I was like, listen man, Liverpool are looking for a backup left back and this is the man right here. But then I saw him again and then again, and then I was like, you know what, and maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he needs some more time to develop. Or you never know. Maybe Klopp could take the risk and just throw him in, you know, trust him in. He's raw, but still, that could also be, you know, something good to work with. His rawness, just like Trent Alexander-Arnold, he had to, you know, tweak his game a bit. But for me, I think Larouci needs to go out on loan. For me, I'm going to say a loan, go out to a smaller club, maybe in the Championship or who knows, League One, or who knows, maybe go to France or Germany, one of those places, and get some more experience under your belt. The Dutch Eredivisie is also an option. So for me, Larouci, very, very promising, but I'm going to say send him out on loan. He ain't ready yet for the first team. Next up, Dutch right back Kiana Hoover. Very, very impressive as well. Had his season kind of disrupted by injury. So for me, I think he's talented, but I think he should also be sent out on loan to develop. Strengthen your body and develop your game. So for me, Kiana Hoover, who I like what I see. For me, he is a loan. The reason why I'm saying Kiana Hoover should be sent out on loan is because of this guy, Nico Williams. He has surpassed Kiana Hoover in the pecking order because Nico Williams, from what I've seen, very, very, very impressive. He could follow the footsteps of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I think he would be a great backup option for the aforementioned Trent Alexander-Arnold. So for me, Nico Williams is a keep. Move him into the first team as Trent's backup and just take the gamble, man. He has shown you what he can do, Klopp. So just take the risk, trust him into the first team. That's how stars are born. I believe that's how stars are born. Develop them in your academy and put them into your first team. You don't have to keep spending all the money all the time when you have gold right within your club. So Nico Williams for me is a keep. This brings us to the next player, 17-year-old right winger Harvey Elliott. What I've seen from Elliott this season, I'm really, really impressed. He's shown that he could bump shoulders with the older players, and I think Harvey Elliott is a keep. I think he is a keep. Klopp might send him out on loan, but I think this is a perfect opportunity to give these young players a platform to shine. And I'm going to use Trent Alexander-Arnold again as an example. Give him the opportunity and you're going to make a star of this player. Look at what teams like Barcelona are doing with guys like Ansu Fati. Messi came through the Barcelona Academy as well. And numerous other players came through the Barcelona Academy. And one thing I'm not impressed with a lot of these English clubs is they don't produce enough academy players for me. They definitely don't. They basically buying their talent from other leagues. Use what you got. You got the talent there. Harvey Elliott for me is a keep. Next up, we have another very young and talented midfielder, Curtis Jones. This is one player a lot of people would like to see in the first team setup. At the back end of the season, Klopp did promote him, but you know it's not really official because it's just at the back end of the season. Was brought in to cover for injuries and stuff like that, and rewarded basically for his impressive outings in the cup matches. So for me, Curtis Jones is also a keep. He has shown his goal scoring capabilities and he has shown that he can cut apart defenses with his through balls. So for me, I'm gonna say Curtis Jones is a sure keep. If I wasn't too sure about any of the players I mentioned before, I'm damn sure about Curtis Jones. Next up is a young goalkeeper, Caoimhín Kelleher. I actually had to take some time to learn how to say his first name, Caoimhín. It's an Irish name, so I couldn't say it. I was saying Caoimhín Kelleher, but it's Caoimhín Kelleher, and he is Liverpool's under-23 goalkeeper. He was around the first team a lot this season as well because of injury to Alisson. And what I've seen from this player, I think he got what it takes to be a backup option for Liverpool or even a third choice option. And the reason why I'm saying to keep him in the team is to help his development. The longer he could be around guys like Alisson and maybe Adrian, if Liverpool decides to keep him, he could pick up a lot. He could learn a lot. And then after the end of, maybe next season, you could say, you could assess the situation and say, listen, let's send him out on loan because he don't have any, future as Liverpool's #1 keeper. With Alisson being around, it's going to be very difficult to dislodge Alisson. He's the #1 keeper in the world right now, according to, the awards he's been picking up. And a lot of people would argue that just because he is the #1. So for Caoimhín Kelleher, I think he is good to keep around the squad. So I'm going to say keep. So guys, now we're into the first team players, the category that you've all been waiting for. Those previous categories, they were kind of challenging to do. Players with their contract expiring, young players, players out on loan. That wasn't too easy because we don't really see these players a lot. But the first team, we see them week in and week out. So I'm going to give you my opinion on whether Liverpool should keep, sell, or loan their first team players. So let's start with the #1 goalkeeper, Alisson Becker. Brought in from Roma with that Coutinho money, and he has transformed this Liverpool team in leaps and bounds. He has basically made this team a better team. Because the goalkeepers that they had before, the Mignolet's, the Kariuses, and you name it, they were trash. Seriously, they were trash. Now, when you look back at it, you can see that they were definitely trash. Because this guy, Alisson, is something out of this world, man. I wasn't so convinced with the whole Alisson is better than Edison talk. But from what I've seen from Alisson this season, when he wasn't injured, I was like, damn, he's good. So for me, Alisson is a sure keep, and I think he'll be around for quite some time. So good luck with the other goalkeepers trying to get that #1 spot. They'll have to be praying for Alisson to get injured. And then when they fill in his spot, they're gonna show up themselves. So they should just humble and be like, listen, Alisson, he's #1 and we should just play second fiddle. It's that simple. Which brings us to backup goalkeeper Adrian, who came over from West Ham United on a free transfers. People are like, oh, where are they going with this guy? why Liverpool chose to bring in Adrian. Alisson picked up an injury early on in the season. Adrian, he was in the thick of things early. Did look kinda, you know, suspect at first, and then he really did a good job filling in for Alisson. Alisson did get injured again, and where Adrian showed his true colors was in the Champions League round of 16 second leg match against Atletico Madrid. That is when he really showed the fans why West Ham let him go, and oh my God, it's hard to believe. It is hard to believe. When you really think back about it, it's hard to believe what Adrian really did in that game against Atletico Madrid. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Adrian. Should Liverpool keep him in the squad or should they sell him? To be honest, it was a whole nother Luis Karius moment in the Champions League round of 16 match day, and I'm gonna recommend that Liverpool sell Adrian. Let him go. You could do better than that. Let him go. His decision making is quite suspect, and you cannot risk that going forward. He's gonna cost you. Remember, I told you that he is gonna cost you. So sell him. Next up, Virgil van Dijk, also brought in with that Philippe Coutinho money, and he has been money. He has been a pillar. He has been a rock for Liverpool at the back, playing almost every single game, league game. I think he's been consistent. He's been fit. He's been strong. He's been world class for Liverpool, and he was even in the talk to win the Ballon d'Or. Can you guys believe that? But of course he didn't win. Messi won it. But he has picked up a few awards since he moved to Liverpool from Southampton, and he has also been very, very good for the Dutch national team as well. So, of course, Virgil van Dijk is a keep all day, every day. Next up is centre-back Joe Gomez, who came over from Charlton Athletic a few seasons ago. Very, very versatile. Could play as right-back, could play as centre-back, but is better as a centre-back and is better when he's playing alongside Virgil van Dijk. I don't know about when he's playing alongside Lovren or Matip or someone else, but when paired together with Van Dijk, he looks like the real deal. So for me, Gomez, very young, plays for the England team, and he is of course a keep. Next up, Joel Matip has been with the Liverpool team for quite a few seasons now. It's hard to believe. He's been there for maybe like 4 seasons, and he started the season very, very well, but picked up an injury and lost his spot to the likes of Lovren sometimes, and on other occasions, mostly Joe Gomez. I think Matip is still a very, very talented defender. He has already shown Klopp what he's capable of doing, and I think Liverpool should keep this player in their setup. The next centre-back on the list is a very interesting one, and it's Dejan Lovren. The Croatian international has been with the Liverpool team for quite a few seasons now, and you know, he's been rumored to be on the go, and I think Lovren should go. He should go. Klopp should let him go. They should actually write him a letter and be like, listen, we are gonna sell you. You know what I mean? Because you are not good, or you're not that good anymore. I don't think he was ever that good. Seriously. I've never been impressed with Lovren. Maybe when he plays for Croatia, he's a lot better. But for Liverpool, I don't know what it is, man. He's just trash. So I think Liverpool should do everything in their power to sell Dejan Lovren. Collect some money for him. Any team willing to pay around 15 million euros for Lovren? Out of their mind, but try to get that kind of money, sell him. You know, and if you know what's good for yourselves, Liverpool, sell him. Next up is the left back Andy Robertson, who came over from Hull City a few seasons ago for cheap. And he is just an example of good scouting. No one knew about him, came over to Liverpool, bam, world class. The assists pops up now and again for a goal, hustling and bustling up and down the left flank, strong defensively, very, very good going forward, and his stamina level is simply on steroids. So Andy Robertson is a keep all day, every day. If a team like Barcelona or Real Madrid comes in for Andy Robertson, what do you guys think Liverpool should do? Should they sell him? Should they keep him? Or what do you think Andy Robertson will do? I think, I don't know. Judging from his character, I think he'll stay. So Robertson, he is a keep. And next up is the last defender on the list, and that's the youngster Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was promoted from the U team a few seasons ago. He was initially a midfielder, but now turned into a right back, and now you could say he's a world-class right back. Still needs to work on his defensive side of his game, but going forward, he is simply sublime. Those assists, 12 this season in the Premier League, 12 last season in the Premier League, and that's a record, by the way, guys. So he made one, and he is about to break his own record. So let's just hope the season returns and Trent Alexander-Arnold go on to break that record. If the season continues, he will also pick up his first Premier League title with Liverpool, their first Premier League title as well in 30 years. So it's basically because of the brilliance of players like Trent Alexander-Arnold why Liverpool has been playing such great football across the last 2 seasons. So Trent Alexander-Arnold is a keep all day, every day, this week, next week. He could go on to be a Liverpool legend. And when I say he could go on to be a legend, I mean he could go on to be a one-club man. Those are very, very, very rare in this day and age, but Trent, who has been at the club since he was 6 years old, could stay at the club till he's about 36. So guys, now we're going to move into the midfield, and let's start with the defensive midfielder Fabinho, who was acquired from Monaco a few seasons ago. Didn't really hit the ground running, but he transitioned very, very nicely in this team, and he started the season very, very strongly. I could remember that performance against Manchester City, where he was very good defensively and offensively as well, chipping in with that wonder goal that helped Liverpool pick up a W in that game. Up until Christmas, Fabinho, a lot of people were saying, is simply world class. But then he picked up an injury, and then he went from world class to basically ass. Like, I'm not even exaggerating here. I don't know what has gotten into Fabinho since Christmas. Since that injury, he has not been the same player. He has also found himself on the bench on quite a few occasions as well. So for me, Fabinho, I think Liverpool should keep him still. He is very, very young, and he hasn't been at the club for a very long time, and I think he should be given the opportunity to continue developing his game. He simply just had a setback. But please do me a favor, you Liverpool fans, stop calling Fabinho world class. I don't think he is world class as yet. World class means that you're putting out these performances on a consistent level. You just keep the bar up there all the time. That is world class. What Fabinho has done this season, even before, it ain't world class. Come on. He had glimpses of world class, but he is not world class. Not yet. Next up is the Flying Dutchman, Gini Wijnaldum, acquired from Newcastle for cheap as well, and he has done great things at Liverpool. Very, very, very underrated player, but his work should never ever be discounted. It should never be taken for granted. I think Gini Wijnaldum is a keep all day, every day. And he's been rumored to be on the move, and I think Liverpool should do everything in their power to keep this player at the club. Very, very, very humble guy, and I just love the way he carries himself. And you know, you need players like Gini Wijnaldum at your club, and I think he is a keep. Next up, we have a very, very interesting case, and that's Naby Keita, the Ghanaian, who came over from RB Leipzig for a hefty fee. Naby Keita, very, very talented player. Don't get me wrong, very, very talented player, but very, very frustrating as well. Very frustrating. Whenever he gets a few games together and he's playing well, popped up with a few goals, he did, you know, he was doing well. Bam, injured. Comes back, does well again, bam, injured. So as a manager, it's gonna be very, very hard for Klopp. It's gonna be very frustrating for Klopp to have a player like this around who simply keep picking up injuries after injuries, who has simply not lived up to expectations, who simply isn't fulfilling his potential that he showed at RB Leipzig. So for me, Naby Keita, something must be done to help him regain his strength, to help him regain the consistency he showed at his previous club. And I think they should send Naby Keita out on loan. I truly think they should send him out on loan because Liverpool has quite a few options in the middle of the field to afford to do something like that. And he is a keep, but send him out on loan to just help his development. Just maybe to a lower league, not as physical as the Premier League, not as physically demanding as the Premier League. So for him to develop those weak muscles and those weak bones and come back harder, maybe in a season or two. Next up, we have the captain, Jordan Henderson, who has basically gone from here to here over the last 2 seasons or so. He has gained the respect of so many football fans across the globe. Before this season, I was never really too impressed with Jordan Henderson. I never rated Henderson like that. But I'm convinced now. I'm really convinced. The hard work he puts in and just his leadership qualities on and off the field, I'm sold on Henderson. I'm really sold on Henderson. And Liverpool is not the same team when he is not in the 11. So he's a keep all day, every day. Of course, he's the captain. He should finish his career at Liverpool as well. And he should go down as one of their legends. So Henderson is surely a keep. I don't need to go on and keep talking about this player because no way Liverpool are gonna sell him. Next up, we have James Milner, who has been somewhat of a journeyman throughout his career, but has settled nicely at Liverpool, previously at Manchester City. So it seems like the latter part of his career, he has been a bit more settled and won things at City. Now he's winning things at Liverpool. Recently extended his contract and he seems like he's gonna be around the club for quite some time and play that mentorship type role. Could play at left back, could play at midfield, could play at right back. The man is just Mr. Dependable. Steps up to take the penalties, and James Milner is surely a keep. I don't know why I'm still talking about Milner right now, but he is a keep. Next midfielder on the list is the man who was acquired from Arsenal, and that is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Has been quite a frustrating career for the young man, but I think over the past year and a half, he has been a lot better in terms of keeping himself fit. Ox was also able to put together a string of very consistent performances, but at times he can still be frustrating because 2, 3, 4 games he could be like really good, and then for 2, 3, 4 more games he could be like very absent. But still, he's a very good player to have around the squad. I think it's a matter of where Klopp plays him. Are you going to play him as a winger, or are you going to play him as a midfielder? I think when Klopp deploy him as a midfielder, as that creative force in the midfield, he is a much better player than when he's running up and down on the wings. What do you guys think? So I think that Oxlade-Chamberlain is definitely a keep. Now we're going to move into the forwards, and let's start with the left winger, Sadio Mane, African Player of the Year 2019, the boogeyman himself, Sadio Mane. His name is Sadio, but he makes the Liverpool fans so happy. Oh, what a year the man has had, man. And I'm talking about 2020 and 2019. He has been very consistent. 2018, 2017, you know, while at Southampton. Now he has been so consistent, and you can't really say a lot of bad things about Sadio Mane, but he is linked to Real Madrid. Real Madrid are come snooping around. They're snooping around. So what is Sadio Mane gonna do? I know he probably has dreams of playing for one of those elite clubs. I'm not saying that Liverpool ain't an elite club. I'm just saying that, you know, players have dreams of playing for the likes of Barcelona or Real Madrid. Is he gonna take the bait and go to Real Madrid? I think, honestly speaking, I think he should, but not yet. Not yet. I think Mane is like 28, 29 right now, 27, 20. I'm not 100% sure on the age, but I think Mane should play a couple more seasons at Liverpool, and if he is still on top of his game, like around the age of 29 or so, maybe you can shoot your shot at Real Madrid. But Mane is surely a keep, but if Real Madrid come in with the right amount of money, I'm afraid Liverpool won't be able to keep him. But I must say Mane is a keep. For me, he is a keep. Next up is a Japanese forward, Takumi Minamino, brought in from RB Leipzig in the January transfer window. And he's a new player, but the thing is, he hasn't really hit the ground running. A lot of us thought that Minamino would have just came to the Premier League and set the world on fire, but he hasn't done that as yet. I know it's still early and he needs time to settle, but to me, I think he should have at least picked up a goal or an assist already. He should have at least done something spectacular already, but Minamino has not done anything. He has failed to impress me, but still early times. He needs time, and I'm going to say Minamino is a keep. Sometimes you see players like this come in, it don't really work out for the first 6 months or so, and they get sent out on loan. But I don't think this will be the case with Minamino. I think Liverpool will keep him, and maybe we'll see the best of Minamino in seasons to come. Next up is a right winger, Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king himself. This man brought over from Roma, and he has just transformed this Liverpool team. Remember guys, Salah came over, scored 30-something goals in the Premier League, and he has basically entered into legendary status ever since. He has been putting fear into the hearts of defenders week in, week out. I know he's a bit inconsistent sometimes, but if you're going to check the leaderboard, in terms of goals scored, assists and everything, Mo Salah is always up there. So he's constantly contributing for Liverpool. Sometimes he is, a bit selfish, but other times, he is a team man. But all together, Mo Salah is a team player. I think he means good. I think he really means good. Even sometimes when I think he means good, but Mo Salah is surely a keep for Liverpool. He is sort of a enigmatic character that sometimes you really can't understand, but he is a keep. The next player on the list is the right winger Xherdan Shaqiri, formerly of Stoke City, formerly of Bayern Munich, the Swiss international. Shaqiri is a very, very, very talented player. Sometimes very, very talismanic, but most times these days injured. Very, very frustrating for fans, very frustrating for the manager, very frustrating for the team at whole. When Shaqiri is on the field, he could work magic, man. Remember last season in the Champions League semi-final against Barcelona, Shaqiri was the man. Or he was one of the men who won the game for Liverpool. But then all season, Shaqiri has been absent. The 2019-20 season, where has Shaqiri been? Injured. So it's basically showing us that he is not up to the level of playing consistently. He can't keep up, basically. He's not strong anymore. He's not disciplined anymore. So for me, I think Liverpool should sell this player. Roma has been sniffing around, and I think Liverpool should cash in when they can, because his value is going to keep going down and down and down. Or who knows? You never know. You never know. Maybe this whole coronavirus thing has given players a lot of time to rest, and he could come back even stronger after. But I don't think that's the case. I think Liverpool are going to sell Shaqiri. So for me, he is definitely a sell. Next up, striker Roberto Firmino. Ooh, man. One of the best strikers around in world football right about now. Still very underrated, but the hard work he puts in is second to none. Which other striker you know in world football that works so hard, helps out in defense, drops back into the midfield, picks up many assists, but you're playing as a center forward? Roberto Firmino, man. Bobby Firmino. Remember at the Club World Cup who saved Liverpool? Who took Liverpool over the line? Firmino. Even though this season he is yet to score a single goal at Anfield, on the road, pops up with the goods. Bobby Firmino, man. Bobby Firmino. He is surely a keep. He is surely a keep. Came from Hoffenheim to Liverpool, and now he is edging towards being world class. I don't think he's world class just yet. He needs a season where he's just banging in goals for fun, and then you could talk about world class, and then you would hear him being linked to Real Madrid and Barcelona and all these teams. But right about now, Firmino is a sure keep. He is a player that Klopp would want to have around his Liverpool team for quite some time. So Firmino, come on, it's a no-brainer. He is a keep. And the last player on the list, guys, is the striker Divock Origi. He has been with Liverpool for quite some time, and he has popped up with some very important goals last season in the Champions League semi-final against Barcelona, the second leg there, Liverpool winning 4-0. And he has popped up with some important goals, you know, here and there. But when you really look at Divock Origi's career at Liverpool, he has never really kicked on. He went out on loan a few times, and I actually think that Liverpool should sell this player. I think it's unfair to have him at the club and he's not really progressing, and he's playing a second fiddle role. He's not getting enough starts. He's not getting enough minutes. Or whenever he gets the minutes, he's not really so impressive. So for me, I think Origi is a sell. I know a lot of you guys won't agree with this, but it'll be good for the player for him to move on to another club and for him to start more games and, you know, fulfill his career dreams and aspirations. Because even though he's won the Champions League at Liverpool, he's on the verge of winning the league as well. After that, you could go on and try something else, because I don't think it's working out for you at Liverpool, to be honest. I don't think he's ever going to be their #1 striker. And, well, you want to be known as a player who played backup your entire career. So for me, Divock Origi is a sell. So guys, thank you very much for watching this very long but entertaining video on which players Liverpool should keep, sell, or loan. If you enjoyed the video and you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave the video a like. Get it to 500 likes and I'll get myself one of these lovely cards over here from cardsplug.com, a Liverpool version. A card with me in this Liverpool jersey and in this outfit basically. Guys, don't forget to leave your comments down below. Let me know which players you'll keep, sell, or loan. I appreciate you getting all the way to the end of the video. From your boy Dominic Rich, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace out. Alright, squad.